To the VA hospital scandal now. With Secretary Shinseka's resignation on Friday, veterans and their families are now calling for a swift solution so that no one else is at risk. In November. Joining me now is Democratic Congresswoman from Arizona, Kyrsten Sinema, whose district borders Phoenix, where those VA abuses were first reported. And with a welcome to you, your reaction to Secretary Shinseka's resignation. I believe you were calling for it, weren't you?
Alex, I called for Secretary Shinseka's resignation immediately after reading that interim internal investigation report. You know, Alex, like most people across the country, I was shocked when I learned of the depth of the mismanagement and, frankly, the fraud and abuse that occurred at the Phoenix VA. And as you know, Alex, I represent the Phoenix VA hospital and many of the veterans who have been seeking care at that hospital for years.
I'm curious, did the veterans' families, before this all became such a public firestorm, did any of them reach out to you and say, we are having problems with our VA system?
Absolutely, Alex. You know, my office in Phoenix is staffed with MSWs, Master of Social Workers, and our job is to help resolve the issues that our constituents face. Our caseload is made up primarily of veterans who've been battling with the VA system since I entered office in January of 2013. In fact, when I called Secretary Shinseka several weeks ago, I said to him, I know this investigation is going on, but I am ready to give you the names and share with you specific cases of veterans who are facing very serious delays here in Phoenix, in my district. I know this evidence is accurate. Something must be done.
Yeah, and that being 18 months ago. So we need solutions now. And I'm sure that if you had the answer to this question, you know, you wouldn't have to work any longer. But the VA fixing these problems, how do we go about doing it? Where do we start?
Well, Alex, I think that there's both a short-term and a long-term solution. In the short term, and I've been calling for this for several weeks, the VA can contract with private companies in the community that can provide short-term care through primary care physicians, specialists, and behavioral health specialists in the community. And here in Arizona, that contract already exists with a company called Tri-West. We can expand and modify that contract to include primary care physicians and behavioral health specialists like social workers and psychologists. And in fact, I've recommended to both Rob Neighbors, the Deputy Chief of Staff to the White House, and Steve Young, the interim director here at the Phoenix VA, that we do almost like a fair, a health fair, where over the course of 2 to 3 days we bring in healthcare specialists so that every single one of those 3,100 veterans who are waiting to get care in Phoenix can see a primary care doctor and get triaged.
Now, that is the first time I'm hearing something that has a timeliness to it. I mean, you're saying doing a health fair for 3 days. My question was going to be, this is a behemoth problem, and what you're suggesting, while it makes sense, certainly from many people's perspectives, taking a huge system like the VA, I mean, just the infrastructure to try to change it around to implement the private care facilities and, you know, the billing and the referrals and everything. I mean, it's a huge proposition. This health care fair, though, could those be potentially held at each different VA hospital and get these people seen immediately?
I think that we could. In fact, we've done things similar to this in Arizona in the past. Years ago, during Hurricane Katrina, many individuals flew to Arizona, and at our local Coliseum, we provided health care and shelter for those individuals in the short term. Each year, we do a big dental clinic where literally thousands of people see dentists over the course of 2 days. It can be done, Alex. The question is the political will there to make it happen? But I've made this my primary mission. My opinion is we've got to treat this as if what it is, an emergency. Every single veteran waiting for care should get a face-to-face appointment with a doctor and then leave with a plan of care that they can take into the future. At that point, the VA can determine whether or not they can meet the needs. If they can, great. And if they can't meet the needs of a specific veteran, we've got to partner with local community agencies to get them the care they need immediately.
So, Representative Sinema, clearly you're at the front of leading the charge to get this happening, and I applaud you for that. But is it going to be up to Congress? Is it going to be up to the Veterans Affairs Administration? Is it going to be up to the White House? I mean, who's ultimately going to push the ball forward and get this fixed?
Well, Alex, it's my hope that the VA and the White House will partner with me on this idea. It's best to keep the veterans in the system so they get long-term care and don't get dropped or fall into the side like's already happened. But I'll tell you this, Alex, if they choose not to do it, we'll do it ourselves.
Representative Kyrsten Sinema from Arizona, thank you very much. Good talking with you. We'll see you again.
Thanks so much.